Number 3, cash, jewelry, political links, Bengal cash scam getting more sensational by the passing day. Today there were more raids that were conducted in Bengal, more summons that were issued, and if the last week is anything to go by, there's more cash that is likely to be recovered. Now, where does this money trail ultimately lead? And who's the big fish getting that money? That's the debate, and here are the developments. A third raid taking place at Arpita Mukherjee's residence in Kolkata. And the ED crackdown is on.
যে গাড়িতে পার্থ চ্যাটার্জি রয়েছে, যে গাড়িতে তিনি বসে রয়েছেন, সেই গাড়ি থেকে যখনই আমাদের প্রতিনিধি প্রশ্ন করছে, সেই প্রশ্নের কিন্তু উত্তর দিলেন না, তিনি কাজ তুলে দিলেন। এই গাড়িটা, এই ইনোভা গাড়ি, ব্ল্যাক কালারের ইনোভা গাড়িতেই রয়েছেন পার্থ চ্যাটার্জি। জোকা ইএসআইতে তাদেরকে নিয়ে যাওয়া হচ্ছে।
Seen today as the media covered her journey, Arpita breaking down in ED custody.
আমাকে শক্তি দিন, আমাকে
And Partha Chatterjee, who's been relieved of his ministerial duties, is changing his line. But after these mega recoveries, speculation is rife that these cars are moving with tons and tons of cash in them. And the ED has not confirmed if this is true. But on the ground, the protests continue.
ये रुपया पार्थ चैटर्जी ममता जी का डायरेक्शन में कलेक्शन किया। ये टीएमसी का अपनी जो एजेंडा है, करप्शन एजेंडा, उसका माफी ये काम हो रहा है।
The BJP is saying Partha is not the big fish.
पार्टी चाहता है कि पार्थ बाबू से हाथ धो ले, कन्नी काट ले। अब ममता बनर्जी भतीजा सरकार और परिवार को बचाने के लगे हैं। सारे लोग अब परिवार बचाओ, नेता बचाओ, जैसा कांग्रेस में हो रहा है वही हो रही है, लेकिन मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई बच पाएगा।
Partho Chatterjee, the erstwhile Education Minister of West Bengal, and his close associate Arpita Mukherjee has already been arrested by ED. But the Central Investigating Agency is sending summons to more TMC functionaries and more close associates and close aides of the erstwhile Education Minister of West Bengal, Mr. Partho Chatterjee.
The scam is only getting bigger tonight. Let's debate. Joining us on debate number 3, Sardar R.P. Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP. Sandeep Ghosh continues to stay with us, author, political commentator. Professor Manojit Mandal, spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress, joining us live from Kolkata. And Professor D.K. Giri continues to stay with us. He's a political commentator as well. Let me start with Manojit and then Sardar R.P. Singh can come in. Manojit, what's going on when Partha Chatterjee makes these bizarre and contradictory claims? On one hand, he claims to be a victim of conspiracy. We saw those sequences. On the other hand, he lauds Mamata Banerjee for sacking him from being a minister. And he's changed his line within 1 hour. What's going on?
You see, I'm not really a doctor or a psychiatrist, though I would love to be one. So what's going in through his mind only he can tell. We are very clear on this, that we are zero tolerant to corruption. If anybody, including Mr. Partha Chatterjee, is found guilty, I mean, they will face the law. Despite the fact that they were not even charged, the party and the government that the party represents took action. But what action BJP is taking? I'm taking names. Ajay Kumar Mishra, whose son mowed down the farmers in Lakhimpur. Nothing. I've been talking about Nitish Pramanik, nothing. I've been talking about Pragya Singh Thakur, nothing. Hemant Biswa Sharma, nothing. Shubhendu Adhikari, nothing. They're all continuing with their post. BJP and the current political dispensation in the center should be the last to talk about corruption, criminality, because they harbor heinous criminals who are charged of murder, dacoity, rape, sexual harassment, including terrorism. So I mean, let's go for the data. You go for the data, you will understand that 30 to 40% of the MPs from BJP will have this kind of criminal record. And look at the data of the Trinamool Congress.
No,
You will
what
not
did he
find
say?
even
Manojit,
a
what did he
single
mean?
person
What did he
charged
mean when he
of this
says
kind
he's victim of
criminality.
conspiracy?
Heinous murder. What I am meaning, again I am saying, I am not a psychiatrist, not even a psychologist. Only Mr. Chatterjee can tell what he is trying to say.
Victim of conspiracy.
I won't be surprised. In fact, this is my personal opinion. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if BJP through ED and CBI very soon sends him a friend request. Because that's the trend of the BJP and the investigative agency. I've taken the name Shubhendu Adhikari, Mukul Roy, Nitish Pramanik. They've all been TMC. They have been chucked out of TMC. BJP has made friends out of them. All are criminals.
Is Mukul Roy back in the Trinamool Congress? Anyway, Sardar RP Singh will take that. Yeah, Sardar RP Singh. Sardar
Thank
RP
you.
Singh.
We really don't know why it is.
Okay, Sardar RP Singh, responding to you.
Thank you. I hope I won't be interrupted. Because common journalist, when you speak, they interrupt. Till 21 crore, it is cut money. 50 crore, it is corrupt money. That's what's happening. They didn't react it. They didn't react it with 21 crore rupees was there in a fat. And till then they kept quiet. Because, that 21 crore could have been a part of the cut money process which was being sent to the higher bosses. But when it came to 50 crore, he's corrupt because just 30 crore was not shared, I was not told to the higher bosses. But leave that point aside. The bigger issue is that who is talking? And people who have been hoarding money in bathrooms, in toilets, and then what do Mamata Banerjee said? I will not spare a crap. Few days back, Mr. Banerjee, Abhishek Banerjee, was on record telling these youngsters who went protesting that I'll ensure that you will get your jobs if you are entitled for. Now all of a sudden they have turned around. So it means it was in their knowledge that things have gone wrong. The money has been taken. And then it's not only that. Now this gentleman is talking about that. Well, give me a second. This gentleman is taking a lot of names. This is happening as per court order, and you have all the right to go to the court, sir. You can also go to the court and get an order to the ED or to the other agencies to raid whoever you want to get a raid done. Raid connected. But answer this: 50 crore rupees.
Can I reply?
Why didn't you react it on 21 crore rupees itself? Why have to wait for another 30 crore to be revealed or to be picked by the ED?
Let me ask Sandeep Ghosh. Sandeep, I'll let you respond, Manojit. I'll let you respond. Manojit. Can I just get Sandeep Ghosh and Professor D.K. Girian, because I have very little time. Sandeep Ghosh, hearing now that there are 2 cars, so many cars, losing count, 4 cars, 4 luxury cars on the move that have gone missing. But the Enforcement Directorate is not confirming the fact that there was money in the car, but we are hearing from reports that there are 4 luxury cars with cash on the move in Kolkata. There are, some reports with even their registration number plates as well.
So, Niranjan, the current joke, which there are lots of WhatsApp jokes come from Calcutta. They said first the ED had to get counting machines for the notes which they're recovering. Now they have to get counting machines for these kind of cars, properties which Partha Chatterjee owned, because every day the list is going on increasing. So that's a separate story, and as everybody is saying, I also personally don't believe that it begins and ends with Partha Chatterjee. It's a much... So what I really now love debating with Manojit because, he is... I see a lot of balance, lot of objectivity and nuanced debates from him. Now, what I find is the distancing. In another debate, somebody else, earlier they were referring to this lady as that woman. Now they are referring to Partha Chatterjee as that man or, Mr. Chatterjee. And I would not insult anybody by comparing Partha Chatterjee with Shubhendu Adhikari. Everybody who's aware of Calcutta politics, though Manojit doesn't think I know, Partha Chatterjee's relationship with Ms. Banerjee go way back when he used to study in Ashutosh College. and she was on the girl's side from those days, and he's been the most trusted, person. And he used to openly say that he's the second person in command. So, it cannot begin and end there.
Yeah.
So we have to really, I think, and the last thing I'll say, I assume everything is correct, that, whether whatever Manojit is saying about BJP people being criminals, crooks, etc., I wouldn't go into the fact that why if Mukul Roy is a criminal, why he was accepted back in the party with flowers and honors. You don't really take back a criminal. That's a different story. But assuming everything else is true, now, would you, does that justify what is happening here? One wrong doesn't justify another, or two wrongs don't make a right. Okay, assuming everything, Manojit will now talk about Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, blah, blah, blah. Everybody, let's take, I wouldn't go into those debates. He might say, Ajay Teni, I don't know what's the connection.
Let me give him 30 seconds to respond.
Okay. So therefore, what's the connection? One doesn't justify the other. I can be a criminal, but if you have done a criminal act, that is independent. Whether you have caught me or not is a separate issue. Please take up on that.
Yeah.
And someday it will happen. But just because I'm a criminal, your criminality does not get neutralized.
Yeah, Manojit, I'll give you 30 seconds to respond only because I have exactly 1 minute left, and I'll give 30 seconds to DK Giri. 30 seconds to you and then 30 seconds to DK Giri.
The distinction is, the difference is for all of you to see. Even before the man was charged,
all of to see,
we threw him out of the party. At least temporarily. Now, please don't disturb me. What are they doing? This party, please stop him. Please don't stop. That. Look at this man. What are you doing in the parliament? I mean, the parliamentarians are sitting for 3-4 days. You have muddled their voice. Now you're muddling my voice. Niranjan, I seek your indulgence, Niranjan, that I am allowed to speak at least on TV. Because we have 10 seconds. I seek your kind indulgence.
RP, give him 10 seconds. Losing time, RP.
Please stop this aggressive man. He shows his teeth everywhere inside the parliament and TV studio, please.
Which man are you talking about?
Let me have my say, for God's sake. The difference is there. I'm talking about the person who is disturbing me, whoever he is. Look at the difference. This party is built with the blood and toil of Mamata Banerjee, with the blessings of thousands, crores of people. Many of them have made supreme sacrifices. Now this party is led by Mamata Banerjee with the generalship of Abhishek Banerjee. You will see a renewed TMC as the people want. We listen to the people's voice. Not to the voice of the BJP and the opposition, who are mired in their controversy, whose hands are not clean. We are for the people. This party is made by the people, blessed by the people. Party will look for the people. Look at what Mr. Banerjee is doing. He is trying to give justice even to the SSC victims. He is trying to give justice to the SSC victims. And what you are doing? You are trying to recruit people for 4 years and in the Agniveer scheme and then throw them out. What have you done in Tripura? 10,000 teachers have lost jobs.
Okay, DK hasn't spoken.
10,000 of them. You are talking about job losses. Look at the employment rate.
DK hasn't spoken. DK.
Oh my God. Last 45 years. Okay. The lowest rate of employment.
Let DK. Final 30 seconds to DK.
Look at the economy.
Okay, please, spare a thought. DK has been sitting patiently. Let DK have a word. Let DK get in a word. Let DK squeeze in a word, please. Please, he's got 15 seconds. DK.
Okay.
DK.
Never mind, Niranjan.
Who's a big face?
Never mind, Niranjan. The guilty should be punished as you are exposing, but there should be equal application of law enforcement agencies. That is all. That is all I have to say. The law should be equally and fairly applied to everyone. But any corrupt should be punished in any party. That is all I have to say.
Okay, let's see where the story goes, because we believe the story is still alive. 4 cars still on the move, reportedly with cash in them. ED is not confirming that. But we are hearing there's cash inside 4 cars somewhere in Kolkata. Watch out, the story is developing. Thank you for watching. And Arnab will be back soon on the debate. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.